All right, so we're to the point, remember, where my boy, we pull up where we're gonna do everything. Everything is on my lap. The 4 boxes of cake mix are on my lap, right? I'm driving. Juan is sitting behind my homie. My homie's sitting next to me. He ups on him. Juan kind of like chuckles, like, whoa, what are you doing? Like no, I know where we can get keys. Like, no, like, what are you guys doing? Like, no, I know we can really hit a lick, right? Not in those exact words, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, like, never heard this one before, right? So I'm like I said, I never had this guy fully figured out, right? So he's like, so he must have really, he knew where them guys' little stash house was or something to that effect, right? He knew where the cartel stash house was, something like that, which I was too dumb to understand all this at the time. Almost like 20 years ago, right? So Juan's like, hey, hell no, you guys are tripping, right? So we start patting Juan down, right? Now, mind you, we forgot to child safety lock the door, which you wouldn't think would turn into anything or lead to what this is about to lead to, right? So we pat him down. My boy pats him on one side. I pat him down the other side. And then my boy, this was the dumbest shit in the world. And he's older than me. He's been to the joint, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Beat murder cases, all that kind of shit, right? So he knows how to, he's handy with the heat. You know what I'm saying? He's handy with the tool, right? So he, for some reason, turns back around and takes his eyes off of Juan 100%. And I'm still looking at Juan, giving him some bullshit excuse, reason / justification as to why we're robbing him, right? I made it seem like it was over territory and turf, which he had nothing to do with that, right? So I'm giving him this bullshit excuse because at the end of the day, I really feel guilty, you know what I'm saying, about doing this, right? It's like I said, Juan was a good guy. He never did nothing wrong, you know? So after we pat him down, my boy turns around and Juan jumps out of the car, right? As I'm like making this bullshit excuse up, Juan jumps out the whip, right? He jumps out the whip. And my boy's like not paying no attention, like it's just sweet, like it's just over. Everything's on my lap. I'm driving. My boy has the money and he's got his thing, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, now mind you, we're in like this little piece of shit Saturn, right? And so Juan jumps out and he leaves the door open. Now, right next to us was another car. So Juan's back is to a car, right? And he's like still trying to like negotiate some type of like way out of this, right? And he's like, and I'm like, and he like kind of started reaching behind his back. And I was like, hey man, he's reaching. Like, what are you? Like, then he snapped into it, opened the door, kicked the door open, and shot at Juan's leg. But it went through his legs. I don't think the bullet hit Juan because Juan was like, you shot me. And I didn't see no blood. This all happened very quickly though, so right? So Juan's like, oh, you shot me. He now mind you, when my homie kicks the door open, now both the car doors are open on the right side of the car. Juan can't really back up because there's a car right behind him. So he's like just takes it head on. He grabs the gun, he jumps on the gun and grabs it, and it's an automatic. It's like a Smith & Wesson or something, if I'm not mistaken. And it's an automatic where it has that protector for like your thumb, for when it recoils, it doesn't like, you don't get your thumb caught in it. It's, you know, it kind of looks like a duck beak. There's a word for it, I forget what it is. But it looks like, you know, like a bill, like a duck bill, right? He puts his thumb where the hammer needs to strike the firing pin, and he grabs it with his hands and he gets his leverage by grabbing it and having it by the duck bill, but it's pointed right into his chest, and my boy's squeezing the trigger, and the gun's not doing nothing. Part 2. Okay? Now part 3, you guys, I want to see $100 kicked in before I release part 3. So I'm going to put the Cash App, all that shit up there. You know what I'm saying? But before you guys see how this ends, and who goes down and who doesn't, and who may have lived and who may have died, you're going to have to come with them donations, man. These stories, man, this story, man, is 100% true. I'm vague about certain things, but as you can tell, anybody that's smart, they're going to know why. But this shit, man, is 100% true, man. Like, shit don't always go how you think it's gonna go, man. You know, my homie underestimated this dude, man. He underestimated him big time, you know? And it's like, he underestimated him because we licked somebody else in the neighborhood. We hit somebody else in the neighborhood, but they were soft, man. Like, he didn't understand there was a difference. Like, them dudes were straight up fucking pussies. Them dudes were hoes that we stung. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy was different. And he just wasn't really paying attention when I was trying to give him a good description of this individual's character. You know? Had he been paying closer attention, this shit wouldn't have happened. You know? I gave him a description of this dude's character, just kind of how I gave you guys a description of his character. You know? So he should have known, man. But the day Juan showed up, that's the day that he was wearing all red and just stuck out like a sore thumb. He had like a red Dickies shorts, a red shirt, red hat, red rag. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, he didn't speak the greatest English. So he already stuck out a little bit, but he was hella comfortable, you know, repping his Norteño shit. He might have even told me he was a Norteño, and I just like wasn't paying attention and didn't really give a fuck, you know? And obviously didn't even know what it was either, you guys. But he was definitely on his Norteño shit, man. He was definitely on that NF shit, you know? So boom, we're in this scenario, and it's life and death now for everybody. And I'm just watching from the driver's seat, like, what the fuck, man? My boy don't know him. He don't know Juan. I'm the one who done did this. I'm the one that crossed him, you know? So it was really personal between me and Juan. You know? Part 3 coming soon as you motherfuckers kick in, man. Everybody come up with $1, $5, $10. Because this story, you're going to learn some shit from this one. All right, I'm out.